Peppa Pig is such a huge phenomenon that 9 out of 10 people around the world know the little pink pig. But did you know that because of its popularity, many cartoons, series, and movies have made incredible references to Peppa Pig?
Wow!
Do you know the Griffins? One of the most popular animated shows worldwide is called Family Guy, where the main characters are part of this unique family. In one episode, the family's mother, Lois Griffin, is accused by the police of committing a terrible crime against a little pink pig, but soon after, agents arrive and declare her innocent. In the next scene, the show zooms into Peppa's town, stopping at the pig family's house. A police officer knocks on the door, and Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig answer it. Joe then asks about Peppa, and after learning that it's the little pink pig's house, he looks sad and says everyone needs to talk. This heavily implies something terrible has happened to our beloved pink pig, suggesting that she's no longer among the living. This is definitely one of the darkest references to Peppa Pig. We're about to show you 14 amazing references to Peppa Pig in other cartoons that you probably didn't know. So grab your popcorn, because another episode of Cinewave is about to begin. Not all references to Peppa are dark. As everyone knows, Peppa Pig shares the same creators as the show Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom. We're talking about producers Mark Baker and Neville Astley. In one episode of Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom called The Party, the Pirate Redbeard, who also roams around Peppa Pig's town, appears at the Fairy Kingdom's castle. He seems to be good friends with the Queen and even helps rescue the kids when they get into a bit of trouble. Looks like Redbeard is a pretty nice guy after all. Do you enjoy fighting in action games? How about the power of the punch? This game is from a fictional franchise in the show Craig of the Creek, where the main character is a fan of a video game inspired by Street Fighter, where characters face off using all kinds of special moves. One of these characters is Peppa, and she appears on the game cover looking super muscular and with an intense, angry expression. What could Peppa's special move be? Maybe jumping in mud puddles. Back to Ben and Holly. The creators made more references. In one episode, when the Tooth Fairy visits to collect a girl's molar, we can spot a little stuffed pig in the corner of the room, which clearly resembles Peppa Pig. We know this is a reference from the creators themselves, but it's still really cool to see both shows existing in the same universe. We'll even see more appearances of Peppa in the fairy world, so stay tuned. There are also references to Peppa in the real world. Roblox is an online gaming platform that allows users to create their own games. One of the most popular games is Piggy, created by someone known as Minitoon. The game is a horror-themed version of the children's show Peppa Pig. If you take a look at the character, you'll see she looks a lot like our beloved pink pig. The game's objective is to survive a chase against an enemy and the best player wins, but it's definitely not recommended for those who are easily scared. Are you afraid of horror games? Then comment #scared so we know. Did you know that Peppa's house is actually the setting of a very famous painting? Oh yes, it's so rare and probably so valuable that this artwork decorates the dining room of the royal family in Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom. In the episode The Royal Fairy Picnic, we see in the background of the royal dining hall a painting that looks very familiar. It's Peppa's house. Could it be that the painting was a gift from Queen Elizabeth? Get ready, because now we're going to tell you about a Peppa episode you've never seen. One the creators would never write, but the writers of Robot Chicken on Adult Swim certainly had the nerve to create. This story is packed with action and a dark twist. In one Robot Chicken episode, an animated show for adults, there's a mini episode about Peppa that's pretty intense. In this story, Peppa is in an interrogation room with a police officer, who's definitely not Mr. Panda, asking her questions. He asks her what happened, and our hero says everything went wrong. Then we flash back to understand how Peppa ended up at the police station, and it all starts with her and Susie Sheep jumping in muddy puddles. Until Zoe Zebra shows up with a new toy, a stuffed monkey. Peppa damages the toy, making Zoe so furious that she threatens Peppa. Our protagonist has no choice but to find a way to get another monkey for her friend, likely from Miss Rabbit's shop. But since she has no money, Peppa decides to enlist her friends, Susie Sheep, Emily Elephant, Danny Dog, and Gerald Giraffe, to borrow the new toy without asking, if you know what I mean. When they sneak in at night, George decides to rat out his sister to Daddy Pig, who, being a responsible dad, tries to teach her a lesson by calling the police. Unfortunately, Peppa doesn't want to listen and ends up using a dangerous item to fix the problem. We then return to the present, where the officer asks if all this chaos was over a stuffed monkey, and Peppa admits that looking back, it seems silly to have done something illegal. Just like Family Guy, there's another adult animated show called American Dad. The storyline follows a family where the dad is a super spy and they have hilarious adventures while hiding an alien who's in disguise to avoid the government. This alien's name is Roger, and in episode 21 of season 16, he makes a reference to Peppa Pig, saying he has a custom wallet with Peppa Pig's face on it. It's just a simple joke without any dark undertones, but it's pretty cool to see another show referencing our favorite pink pig. If you've never seen Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, you're missing out on one of the most entertaining films out there. This movie shows two chipmunks who were once huge cartoon stars, but now they're struggling in their careers. The film is packed with references to other movies and memes like Ugly Sonic, the original design for Sonic the Hedgehog before the 2020 movie. You might remember that no one liked that design, so the producers had to change it. But the reference to Our Pink Pig appears when a police officer mentions that Peppa Pig disappeared the previous year, and a squad of soldiers stormed Nickelodeon Studios to rescue her. However, the Paw Patrol fought back, and some officers were injured. Can you imagine the chaos? Now, to make sure Paw Patrol or Ugly Sonic don't come after you, it's best to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There's a popular Australian cartoon among adults called Animun, and unlike Bluey, this animation isn't meant for the whole family. They create short comedy sketches, just a few seconds long, designed to get laughs and sometimes even surprise viewers. In one episode, Peppa Pig visits a doctor, and the doctor explains that she's not doing well. Everyone knows one of the jokes about Peppa is her eyes, which look like they're on the sides of her head. The doctor references this, saying it's a result of a dangerous mutation and that she needs surgery. Peppa gets worried and asks what happens if the surgery doesn't go well, and the episode ends with the townsfolk buying pork at the butcher shop. We'll give you a moment to recover from that shock. Got a quick question for you. Do you know how to fill up your party with pretty girls? Just get a Peppa Pig piñata. Or at least that's what we learn on a hilarious puppet channel called Super Mario Logan, or simply SML. On this channel, the host uses puppets based on characters from the Super Mario Bros. Games. In one episode, a big party is about to happen, and Bowser Jr. says that to get girls to come, they need to buy something cool. And since girls love Peppa Pig, a Peppa Piñata seems like the perfect choice. So girls, does your crush send you Peppa videos? There's another YouTube channel called Annoying Orange, where a talking orange lives in a kitchen and goes on all sorts of adventures around the city with his friends. In one episode, he meets Peppa Pig and goes with her to a street fair. Did the little piggy end up there because she was bought at the butcher's? Peppa is also famous on TV series. One of the most watched shows in the world is The Big Bang Theory. In episode 18 of season 11, Bernadette, who is already a mother, is talking to Amy about having kids. When Amy asks what she's watching on TV, Bernadette explains that in homes with children, they only watch cartoons like Bob the Builder, Dinosaur Train, and Peppa Pig. She even says the little pig is fun and educational. Don't be fooled into thinking the edgy jokes are over. There's another Peppa Pig reference in a cartoon that manages to be much darker than Family Guy. We're talking about South Park, created by Trey Parker and Matt Stone for Comedy Central. This show was built as an adult comedy series focused on the mischievous adventures of four friends, Stan, Kyle, Eric, and Kenny. In one episode of season 21, there's a 10-year-old girl's birthday party. It's when one of the characters, Marcus, gets a phone call saying that Peppa Pig showed up at the party and went overboard with some illegal substance until she passed out. The funny part is, when everyone arrives at the house and sees the scene of Peppa Pig lying on the floor, they find out that it's not the actual pig, but just a regular man dressed as Peppa Pig in a costume for the party. Would you dress up as Peppa for a party? You can have fun at our party every time there's a video here on the channel, so we've prepared 2 more videos for you to watch. We'll see you in the next one.